D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? And have I got a story for you? Now, also down below, you can find the articles that I am going to read to you to do this video, and you can check them out for yourself, or you can just watch this video where I'm going to read it to you. Before I get started, though, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we just keep getting shoved to the back of the line. So please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. All right, so now that I got that out of the way, why don't we go ahead and get started? So it looks like James Mangold is circling the drain to direct Swamp Thing. Now, if you remember this week, and I did a video on it where DC came out and James Gunn came out and he did a presentation, and one of the things that he presented was a Swamp Thing movie. Now, I just have to say, I think that this, personally, before I get into this article and when I talk about James Mangold, I personally love Swamp Thing. I think it's a great character. If you go and read Alan Moore's run on the character, that's my personal favorite run on the character. I think it's a great idea, personally, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, to bring in Swamp Thing. But I understand that it's a niche character. But if you watch the TV series, I think that only lasted 13 episodes off the top of my head, but I love that series. I thought it was great when it came out. I thought it was so good, and I feel like it got canceled too soon. I really wanted to see where the story was going. I love the characters they brought in. Like the way they did Madame Xanadu in that show, where she was like this voodoo kind of priestess lady. I thought that was great. They brought in the Blue Devil. That was great. And the way he looked was great. And I just felt like them canceling it was a misstep. Now, moving on to this movie, I think that this will be interesting to see, and it'll be interesting to see how it goes over with fans. But why don't we go ahead and get into this article from Deadline, a favorite. So since James Mangold's circling Swamp Thing film Bob Dylan picks still focus following Indiana Jones sequel. Now his Indiana Jones, for instance, he directed Logan and Ford v Ferrari, both really good films. I love both those movies. He did a great job. This Indiana Jones movie sounds like a big hot mess. I don't know. And wasn't he supposed to direct a Star Wars movie? Don't quote me on that. I just can't remember. But his Indiana Jones movie, granted he didn't write the script, but it still sounds like a big hot mess, you guys. It sounds like such a hot mess. And he's like attacking fans and stuff. And I'm like, well, dial it back, calm it down, sister. All right, let's read this article and get into this. So it says, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Filmmaker James Mangold is circling to direct Swamp Thing, Deadline has learned. These are very early talks and nothing is set in stone. The project is so deep development. There's no script. We understand per sources, which I have to just say, James Mangold is a really good director. So hopefully he comes on to this project. So it says, we hear that Mangold is a big fan of Swamp Thing. Me too. And has been chasing the feature for a while. That said, DC is stoked about Mangold. The filmmaker has an offer. In unveiling their DC Universe slate, Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters, on Tuesday, the studio's co-CEOs James Gunn and Peter Safran didn't make any director announcements, but the day after the news of the DC slate broke, Mangold tweeted out a photo from the Swamp Thing comic book, which Gunn then retweeted, which is very interesting. Oh, go away. Mangold's next project is Searchlight's Bob Dylan biopic, A Complete Unknown, starring Timothy Chalamet as the young crooner. As Deadline first reported, his Indiana Jones comes on June 30th. Hence, the Swamp Thing movie would be very far out, which is very true. They won't start these movies until 2025, which is so far away. With Superman, I believe it's July 11th is when the Superman movie will come out. But hopefully, hopefully there's enough time. I mean, I think that James Mangold has enough time to get everything, because I think Swamp Thing is the last thing that they announced. So maybe it's the last one in their slate of releasing. I don't know though, because they didn't have any dates. I think they had one more date for something else, but they didn't have any dates for any other movies. So we'll see. So it says Mangold took the R-rated superhero movie to another level with Logan. I agree with that 100%. Logan is a very good movie. It's not the comic book, but that's fine. It was a very good movie, and I personally enjoyed it. It was the best one out of this Logan trilogy, or this Wolverine trilogy. The third Wolverine movie starring Hugh Jackman. Mangold executive produced, co-wrote, and directed Logan. See, so I think that he's got a good head on his shoulders, and I think that he can make a good movie. It just sounds like this Indiana Jones movie is going to be one of his flops. In terms of writing, it might do well, money-wise, although I'm not going to see it, which grossed more than $619 million in global box office before Disney took over 20th Century Fox and its portion of the X-Men Marvel Universe. Mangold is repped by a bunch of fun people. So that's the tweet that he put out. Super fun. And I think that this, like I said before, hold on, I just want to, there we go, we'll do that. I just want to say, I think, again, this is a really good idea. I think that Swamp Thing, first off, and I know Guillermo del Toro was supposed to do a Swamp Thing movie, and it fell through. But I think that it probably was because Guillermo del Toro has such a unique vision, and it was probably too much for them. They were probably like, ooh, I don't know if I want to do that kind of thing. Which also was a misstep. I think Guillermo del Toro is a fantastic director. I love him. But I think this is a good choice. If James Mangold signs on to direct this movie, I think this is a good choice. I think that James Mangold is a good choice for Swamp Thing, and I think he could do a great job with this movie. And I've seen other people bring this up, and I'm going to bring it up too. Swamp Thing is a perfect place to introduce Poison Ivy, because you have the green, and she's connected to the green because she's also plant-based, and I think that this would be a good place to introduce her, if anywhere. So I think that that's a really good thought process. But we'll see where this goes. This is still in the early stages, like they said. Nothing's been set in stone yet. There's no script or anything. But let's see how this all works out and see if this is connected in any way, shape, or form. We'll see. I don't know. This could be just a big hot mess. But yeah, I think this is good. Tell me, what do you guys think about all of this? How do you guys feel about James Mangold directing the Swamp Thing movie? Are you like me and you think this is a good choice? Or do you think this is a misstep and James Mangold is just not the right fit for this project? How do you feel about Swamp Thing as a character? Do you like Swamp Thing? Did you watch that show? Did you ever read any of the comic books? Yeah, tell me what you guys think about that, all of this. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go hit that like button. I won't mind if you're new to my channel. Please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week. You guys have a good week. Bye.